You know, there's days when you really feel like giving up. Then there's days that you feel you didn't give enough. We will live it up, rip it up. Don't have time for tripping up. Life is for living, no more living rough. Dreamt of this day since sipping on a sippy cup. But it's the passion and the love, it really lit it up. And now I feel I'm ready, really, just to kick it up. I said, now I feel I'm ready just to kick it up. And these are tests, these are trials and tribulations. It's emotion and experience, a crazy combination. This one's for everybody spanning right across the nation. So we can finally make a statement. Make a statement. Make a statement. Sharing stories from the shame to the glory. Some have pain, some are boring, some have hate, some adoring. Wrote some late, some at mornings, but they change as I'm growing, and the day's never slowing. These are tests, these are trials and tribulations. It's a crazy combination, spanning right across the nation. To ignite the light, unite and bring your guns blazing. To be courageous, be fearless, and to feel amazing. Life's for living, so make sure you really live it up. Look in the mirror, tell yourself that you ain't giving up. Your days of being timid die, it's time to rip it up. And take a stand where you really do not give up. Make a statement.
Craig Cooney and Statement, which brings us nicely into our interview. Well, this week our interview is a little different. We're speaking to Ciaran Casey of Vultures Media, who recently released a short film, Vultures, that delves into the topic of knife crime. We're joined in the studio by Ciaran and our very own Laura Dunn.
Hi Ciaran, thank you for coming.
Thank you very much for having me.
Knife crime, why knife crime? Why did you?
It was when me and Craig last year, he sent me a verse that he didn't know what to do with, but when I heard the verse, it sounded very storytelling and story driven. It was about two characters, which is the boyfriend and the girlfriend you see in the film, and their night out. And the last words he ended with was, "Watch your bag and your purse, I'll zip up my pockets." And he sent me the verse not knowing what to do with it. So then I was listening to it, I was like, we could do something with this. This sounds like a story driven song. Maybe we can take it in a different direction and make a film out of it. And we were just basically continually going back and forth to see what we'd do with the film. And knife crime was a big issue at the start of the year, and we wrote this in about November. So we were like, if we had an altercation between the two characters and it was knife crime, we could raise awareness to it, and that's how the knife crime came about.
And just backtracking a little bit, so Craig Cooney, he's a successful Irish hip hop artist in his own right.
Yeah.
How did you guys meet?
We met about 4 years ago when I just about started Vultures Media. We had a hip-hop group. I think there was about 7 of us, and we were performing gigs and doing music videos. And one of the lads, seen Craig Cooney, had a viral video on Facebook. It had like 180,000 views of this freestyle about accents. And I gave him a text. I was like, "Listen, man, we've got a hip-hop group down here. Like, do you want to come and mess for a bit?" And then the next day he was in his car with his girlfriend, and he came up. We shot a music video that day to one of his like old freestyles, and you know that was the day we met him. It was crazy. He thought it was crazier than we did, because we were like, "Dude, this guy's coming up here to visit us. Like we're in Boyle. Like who's coming to visit Boyle?" And then the next minute, Craig Cooney pops up, and he's like, "This is crazy. There's so many hip hop artists. What? This is the dream." And we've been working together ever since. It's been a mad journey between the two of us.
So you introduced him to the West of Ireland dream.
We did, and we showed him what the West looks like. Like
Born again culture.
Yeah, that's it. Like he was stunned though, because like he's from Kildare in Dublin, and he never like really hung out where we were anyway. And once he came down, we were just like as buddies for life now. Like so, it's been about 4 years.
Just backtracking even further. So you directed the film Vultures.
Yeah.
You co-wrote it with Craig.
Yeah.
How did you get into films? I mean, you're fairly young yourself, but you've done quite a few bits already. So how did you get into all of this?
Basically, when I was I think it was when I was 13, I got a phone, like one of the old Nokia phones, and it could pause video, you know. And
wow.
I was like, oh my god, I can make movies on this little Nokia. Now I could never do anything with them. They could only stay on the phone, and you could only have like 2 videos on the phone. But I used to sit there and make stop motion animations of me spoon stirring me coffee by itself, and I'm running in looking at my mum and like, hey, look what I did. Like, and she's like, yeah, that's great, woo. And then from there, me and my brother, we started making short films on and stupid skits, like embarrassing skits that I'm glad are not on the internet anymore. And we accumulated about I think we got just under 1 million views on YouTube when I was 14, and we were the top 50 in Ireland for YouTubers. But
wow.
Then then school got hold of it, and then I was ridiculed in school.
Nice.
It was crazy, and so I ended up deleting everything after 2 years and trying again. So I started doing hip hop, and then that's when I really got into editing. I didn't even want to be a rapper. I was doing music for ages, but I wanted to film something, and I had nothing to film. So I was like, if I stick a camera up and film myself do something, you know what, I'll do rap. Okay, sound. And then I started making my own music videos and and from there it just kept progressing. Then my friends started joining in, being like, you know, I'd love to do hip hop too. One of my good friends, Josh, savage lyricist, he got on board, and then from there, I think that was about 2017 is when I really kicked off film. So, but yeah, no, 13 years old when I started, and I'm, you know, it's a good story.
I'll just bring you back to the film again. The film, you tackle it from the perspective of the actual, the perpetrators of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that whole emotion of they're sitting in the flat, they're coming down off cocaine, and they're just fucking boiling there with anticipation of what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
How did you kind of, how were you able to lock into that? How were you able to?
Basically, it's just I've seen that life, you know. I've never witnessed knife crime, but I have been in situations with lads who were, you know, not exactly the most friendliest people, you know, and I know what it's like to feel in that room, which we try and explain through the character Anto. You know, he's nervous about the situation. He's trying to join in, have the crack, and the boys keep, you know, peer pressuring him into, we're doing this. But it's because and Craig as well. He's seen his fair share of, you know, that kind of environment. So, you know, being able to put it on paper just felt a little easy because we know what it's like in those moments. You know, what the conversations are like, what the banter's like. So.
Yeah, and the whole dragging somebody down into that as well. Like, you know, there's a leader, or people that are involved, you know, that are leading somebody that doesn't want to be involved in it necessarily. And of course, prisons are full of ordinary people that have just done one thing stupid in their whole life. I think it captures that as well. But your reaction from it, as a lot of people come across with that reaction to it. Yeah,
there's been a lot of people getting back to me, you know, telling me their experiences in such situations, you know, like whether it be a loved one who's been taken from something stupid, or, you know, been in an environment where there is someone who takes control and makes you go and do something stupid because you're young, you know. That's what our characters are supposed he's a young fella, and he's, you know, very impressionable by peers, you know. He wants to fit in, and I've been in that situation, you know. I've never gone and done something that's crazy, but I've been there where someone's been like, yo, we're doing this, and you're just there, and you just want to be a part of the
group.
group.
Along for the ride, like, you know, and next thing, you know, you're sitting in there waiting for the knock on the door. Like, you know.
Questioning yourself, like, why am I here in the first place? And then the next minute, you're like in trouble. So it's not a good scenario.
So with Craig, I mean, he's obviously a musician, but he's got some pretty mean acting chops as well. Has he done professional work before? And
like he did one. We did one for it was a guy named Alex O'Neill, I think his name is, and he was making a short film, and he just asked Craig, "Listen, I need a guy to look big and buff in this scene." So me and my brother were in Dublin at the time. We followed him down, watched this acting thing. And he did it. He went up and did the act. And you were like, out when you seen the scene after, we were like, nah, that's way too good. Like, you've done this before, but this is his second major role in any kind of.
So yeah, and he really fit the bill for that role, didn't he?
A lot of people were like, people didn't even know it was him rapping. They just thought he was an actor, and people were like, so who's that guy? And I'm like, that's Craig. That's the man himself. So
a little bit about the rest of the cast. Were they friends of yours as well, or professional actors?
A few of them were professional actors who've done really good in their craft, but mainly like everybody who was a part of film, like I had to outsource. I've known a few of them, like the crew. My cinematographer Lee, savage cinematographer. I went to college with him for film production in Dublin there about like 6 years ago, and I knew he was good, and I've been following his stuff ever since. And then I had a friend I met at a hip-hop gig named Max, who was my first AD, who kept me going. You know, he kept the crew ship running and the whole thing on time, made sure I was, focused and stuff. And then Lee brought along a gaffer named Kate, and she was MVP. Like, we were shooting for 2 days. It was about, the first shoot was 10 hours, and the second shoot was 12 hours, and we were up till 6 in the morning shooting the last scene, like the last bit of knife crime. And she powered through, like carrying equipment, the big stuff and the heavy lights and stuff, you know. And then Ben was a sound guy who Lee suggested. So everyone on the crew I haven't really worked with before. And then for actors, we put up a post, and I went through about 5 main lead roles for David, who ends up getting hurt. And the first guy I picked, he was like interested. He sent me a CV and all that. And then the next day he's like, you know what, this isn't a project for me. And I was like, okay. Then the next guy, he had to go get his COVID jab during the shoot. Then I had another guy, and then a lot of actors dropped out. And then the day before, I had a main role, and Anto, who is the brother, the two of them text me at 6 in the morning on the day of the shoot. Listen, we've just been in a car incident. We can't make the film. So I had no lead, and I had no Anto, and I was panicking the whole way down. I was like, I better find a lead. I need a lead, like. And I asked one of the actors who was the friend. I was like, listen, you're gonna have to step up, like, and be my main lead, like. And he's like, oh yeah, okay, sound. So it was crazy trying to hire actors, because this is my first film for hiring a crew and a cast. So this was making me panic the whole time. Like, it was like, oh my days, what am I gonna do? And then it turned out all right. It was good.
And you wouldn't think it, because it's flawless, really. I mean, Danny, what do you think of it? I've watched it a few times.
Flawless, but the emotion that you get off it as well, I think it captures that so well. The whole emotion of it, and that's what makes the film, the emotion that the fellas that when they're coming down off the coke and they're sitting there going, oh shit, what have I done? That for me, like that, you really feel it. But you would have had a lot of in the hip hop scene. That's one thing I really like about the hip hop scene as well, is that nobody's really reliant on radio or the print media anymore to get out there. It's all about the film. It's cool.
I don't think enough people do it though. Like a lot of music videos over here. The reason why I'm not shooting as many music videos now is because people want the same thing. They want RGB lights in the background and a couple of cars and a dog on a chain. And I'm like, I sit there as a director.
What about a girl in a bikini?
And for me it doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't evoke emotion. It doesn't give me a reason to watch it. It doesn't make me go, dude, you got to watch this video. Like, I love a video that makes you go, that was impressive. Now we have a few artists over here, the big guys, who are like professional. Like Jafaris, you got Kojak. I don't know if you've seen Kojak's new album and his Town's Dead. Yeah. Dude, that dude's crazy. His visuals are savage. But the guys who are doing stuff with the I know, and there's like a lot of drill, and then there's people doing grime over here who just want the flashy camera and that doesn't do anything for me. And as a director, I want to, if someone watches something I make, I want them to be like either wow, that was really touching, or dude, that was crazy. They're the two emotions that I really want to hit. Like, so
Yeah, a lot of the drill too. It does. It glorifies a certain aspect of, and it's. I think it's. I like drill beats. Like I do.
The beats are good. Yeah.
But some of the lyrics and that are just kind of, you're going, oh Jesus, no.
And you've heard them before. Like,
no.
I'm gonna someone will text me now after this, but they've heard them before. And I think the lyrics they spit, the other guy spit, and then in the lyrics he spit, and there was a popular. I don't know if you've seen the popular like trend that went on about 4 or 5 years ago, was like MCing over here, and everybody was doing the same thing back then, like 1, 2, 3, who's on the mic? I'm like, I don't know who's on the mic because all of you keep asking. Who like this? So like we do have a really popular music scene, and Craig's tried to push that as well because none of his music videos have ever been the same. The first video we shot properly was Time Will Heal, and we went down to a studio and with Cosmin Cantor, who was Craig's producer at the time. And we shot this really nice video in the studio, and then the next one we did Proud, which was about making people proud. So we didn't just, have performance shots. We went down to a good friend of Craig's named Nate Enright, who was like a welterweight, not UFC, but a champion in the cage,
Yeah.
And we followed him and a young fella, like kind of training in the gym, and the boxing bags, the sparring between the two of them, just because you want to make people proud. You're doing this for someone. And then the next one was Incredible, where we had a dancer, doing an incredible dance, and it was never. He's never performed the same thing twice, which is, he gives me creative control a lot of the time during the videos. So, that's what I want to be able to produce, is like stuff that makes you go, okay, that's good. It's different,
Nice. I should mention as well, just something I spotted up there on Facebook, that the film's been selected for the 12th Underground Film Festival. Is that right?
Yeah, it has.
Well done.
And I'm
Congrats.
I am chuffed. That's the dream right there. To be able to create something and be an award. That's like, me and Craig were talking about it the other day. Our first photo when we first met, we took a photo of us together, just kind of like this is the first day we met. And Craig was saying, dude, I cannot wait till we're on a stage, suited and booted, and when they name out the best short film, Vultures, or whatever award we might happen to win, and be able to go up there and hold a trophy with our names on them and be like, yo, this is 4 years of work. Like, we finally did something that, is pretty big for me anyway.
You released it straight onto YouTube near enough straight away.
Yeah.
A lot of those short films, you'll see them, they'll do the festivals around. They won't release it out.
That's
But
right,
you guys, right, look, here it is. Watch it.
That was a debate. Well, not a debate. Me and Craig were like, I wanted to do the film festival circuit because it was film festivals like the Virgin Media Dublin International Film Festival. You can't enter some of these festivals, like the big ones, if the film has been online and already had a release. So I was like, hey, yo, I want to do the film festival circuit, and Craig's like, he really wanted to have it on YouTube and get it shown, just to show people what we were doing. So we had to speak about it, and like, it turned out for the better, I think. Well,
it's a thing. You're getting the message out there straight away. But there's usually when we have some short film in here, like they've done the festival and then they've come in.
They wait 2 years to put it out online. And
the hype's kind of over by then as well, isn't it? And everyone's calmed down. There's not that initial excitement, which is the really the buzz about it, isn't it?
Some of them really good as well too. But it's kind of lost the momentum. Whereas out on the YouTube straight away, and it's the kind of hip hop style, Irish hip hop style. Everything's onto YouTube. Yeah,
it depends on the director. Like the director, if he's the writer and director of the film, usually as a director, you want to get it seen by filmmakers. When you put it on YouTube, filmmakers don't go to YouTube to watch short films. The only people who watch short films are other filmmakers. Like, people don't, like, I love short films. I watch short films consistently. I prefer them over Netflix, like, most of the time when there's good ones. But, like, for short films, if you're a director, you want to get it seen by the big guys. So someone might one day turn around and be like, I've got this script and a budget. You want to do this because you did a really good job. And, that's the dream.
I mean, Ciaran, I can see that happening.
I hope so.
Yeah, definitely. I suppose we better wrap it up, Danny.
Tell
we're
us
leaving.
about Vultures.
Is it Will Sane
Will
Media?
Sane Media,
Will
yeah.
Sane Media. WillSaneMedia.com. There's a show reel up on there, isn't there?
Yeah.
That's very
And all
good.
my projects, a lot of my decent projects are up there now. So, and where, you know, if you're looking for any media and as such, just get on there, give us an email, and we'll sort you out. Like,
Yeah, so you're available to work with artists on music videos and promos, that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
we're hitting animation now as well.
Oh,
so.
animation, yeah. I mean, people might think that getting something together like that will cost a fortune, but it's a lot more accessible than
It's
they might
more
think.
accessible now, yeah. It
Yeah.
depends on what you want. If you've got a budget, you're gonna get a good project, you know. But if you're on a small budget, you know, we can still produce something that's high quality and available for, you know, keep making sure you're making an income from. You know, that's what you want when you get a video as a business. You want to make sure that it produces income, and that's what we do.
With you've other videos up on the website as well, like that they can watch as well. Like,
Yeah. Lots of projects.
So, when the first project that you put out online, when did you put that out?
The first project
Well, with Will Sane
with Will
Media.
Sane Media, it'd actually been my song. I wrote. I was playing guitar one time, back about 5 years ago. Was the first video we ever uploaded, and we actually weren't called Will Sane Media. It was Will Sane, but in Pig Latin, so it's Ill Sane Way Productions. And then it got changed because my rap name was Will Sane. That's why, you know, Will Sane continued. But yeah, that's what. Yeah, so the first one was me.
Where can people go to find your movie first of all, and the other stuff, and find out any more about you?
If you go to YouTube and type in Vultures Short 2021, you'll find the Vultures film. And then if you want to find me, you can find me on @WillSane_media on Instagram and Will Sane Media on Facebook.
Brilliant. And we're going to link all those up on the Facebook page.
Yeah, well,
as
you're
well.
going to link up.
I am. I'm going to do all the work.
Responsibilities.
Well, thanks very much, Ciaran.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming.
Appreciate you having me on. Thank you very much, guys.
Best not get attached, cause this love it never lasts. When you thought they had your back, then they left you in the past. I swear I won't be fooled again. I swear I'll fight through the pain. Left me broke, can't fix myself. Need more hope and no one else. I was fine and then you came. Peace of mind no longer sane. And I know that it won't be the same. I know I'll walk alone once again. So this will help me grow. On my will, hope it don't go. Said it will happen, so I'm waiting. Imagine that we were dating, drinking till I'm faded, and still hoping I can make it. Saw a dream, I chased it. She playing games, then she played me. I swear I won't be fooled again. I swear I'll fight through the pain. And I know that it won't be the same. I know I'll walk alone once again. This music don't pay my bills. Videotape couldn't measure my skills. Committed to this but it kills. Still got these pains in my back cause I stood too still. Still too still. Still too still. But it's just me, I'm trying to get this out. Made enough but not enough to count. Trying to fill my bank account. Give me some cash and some clout. Look me for all that I'm worth, like a cash cow. Trying to move on, put that in my past now. Done this too long, I will no longer just back out. Been too long falling into my sins. Cut these ties, haven't been better since. I'm trying to get better without my medicines. But if I offend, that meant we weren't good friends. Like, didn't make it sense, like, so it makes no sense. Like, no, these feelings tense. Say these words with all my intent. Know these feelings tense though. You best not get attached, cause this love it never lasts. When you thought they had your back, then they left you in the past. I swear I won't be fooled again. I swear I'll fight through the pain. Left me broke, can't fix myself. Need more hope and no one else. I was fine and then you came. Peace of mind no longer sane.